What's up? Welcome to your Buckeye Rush Hour for a finally Friday. Starting on with a bang already, as she said, February 23rd, 2024. Now we're off and running. A little stumbled out of the blocks there, but hey, somehow, for some reason, I just got really tired all of a sudden. But anyway, yeah. Please pop in the live chat, drop your questions, comments, whatever you like, and we will get to them. Hearing some rumors about Ward Manual and multiple cover-ups. Who would have thought Michigan covering things up? But rumors. Not sure where those are coming from, but if it's from Buckeye Scoop, I don't listen to that show, so you guys are gonna have to keep me informed there. Anyways, we're talking recruiting today. Let me double check and see. I don't think anybody's joining us today between Jeff and Sean. So we will be back Sunday night. Once again, 7:30 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube Live. And resuming our normal schedule. We may end up taking a day off here or there before spring ball. But I think we're going to talk about some of the new playoff rumors, the new 14 teams, 16. They don't even know, this freaking committee and everybody surrounding it it's just a shit show. Trying to squeeze that freaking turnip for all the cash you can, So we'll get into some good stuff. Talk some Buckeyes pre-spring kind of roster stuff. So anyways, let's kick it off here with we're talking mostly recruiting visits. We got a ton of updates on this 2025 class. Visits are starting in March, so we're like a week away. We have a ton of guys that we're in heavy for, and let's get into it. First off, we do have one tidbit of bad news. This is for you, PC. You're welcome, I guess. You enjoy the bad news? No, PC always likes the bad news first. So New Jersey O-lineman Matty Augustine, he committed to Notre Dame on Tuesday. He chose the Irish over Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, and Wisconsin. Hold on a second. We got Sean joining us. He is in the lobby. Let's add him in here and get my headphones on so I can hear what the fuck he's saying. Connect the audio and let's do this. Oh, I got to turn on my USB, Bluetooth crap.
Hello, hello.
There you go. You are in. All right. What's on your mind, Henry?
It's Friday. Just finishing up the week. Closed out strong. Bunch of stuff going on late Friday. Why are these guys always hitting me up late Friday?
Yeah, tell me.
Good thing I'm not drinking this month. I could handle it.
Huh. Maybe you could handle more
now,
if you're
but now
drinking.
I want to drink. I'd like to have a drink.
There you go.
One more week.
Well, at least you have alternative things you can fall back on.
Nope.
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 All right.
Sober.
Oh. Sorry to hear that.
First time I've done this. Yeah, I usually just carry the alcohol.
Yeah.
But figured I'd
give the lungs a break.
Yeah, I tell you, the only thing I've really noticed, like my dreams, I have crazy dreams.
Yeah. Clarity.
Yeah, and I mean, just vivid. Remember when I wake up, I'm like, damn, get me back in there.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to run through some recruiting stuff. We got a bunch of dudes that were in on releasing their top sixes or whatever. And then we have a bunch of visits that are scheduled for March. You hearing anything on that Michigan crap with Ward Manual? I don't listen to the Buckeye Scoop, so apparently it's a Nevada nugget.
I haven't at all, just because I've been so buried and haven't really checked their boards or any stuff. Haven't been in the car to listen to Valente or any of those guys. I've just kind of been out of the loop the last few days in regards to
Yeah,
that. But I mean, everyone up here hates Ward Manuel. I mean, they'd be happy to see Ward Manuel get fired.
yeah. I think it's coming. It's just a matter of time. Sounds like if any of these rumors are true, I couldn't find anything at all out there. Uh, so I think this is only coming from Buckeye Scoop. So um, somehow
Yeah, but
they
I mean,
have,
you look at their programs. I mean, okay, they just won the
yeah,
Natty in football. That was good. But 2 years ago, they wanted to fire Harbaugh, or
yeah,
3 years ago, whatever. You got Juwan Howard smacking people, and their basketball team is an absolute disgrace. And they're like, this is Ward Manual.
yeah. From what I
It goes
heard, it
beyond just
sounds like
football.
there's a bunch of cover-ups, like some uh, sexual abuse cover-ups by Ward Manual in other sports, and just a lot of negative shit going on that sounds like he's just counting the days at this point. So I think their board of trustees or whoever does the hiring and firing ultimately, he's
I
got to
mean,
be out.
I hate to give too much credence to it. Like I still think Mel Tucker was inappropriate, but I think he was railroaded. And
Yeah.
sometimes again, the sentiment to get rid of Ward Manual is so strong up here.
Mm,
Is it probably partial? Whatever's out there is probably partially true, not 100%. There's probably some
exactly.
nuance to it, but they're
Yeah.
looking for a way to get rid of this guy. It's like,
Yeah.
gonna fire him
And
with cause.
and cause we don't like him. It is the who actually wants him out? Is it just the Walmart Wolverine fans? Is it the more
Everyone, I
legacy
don't,
types?
all of them. I've not
Okay.
heard of anyone. Um, and I think they liked him, when he got Harbaugh to come, he got Juwan
Yeah.
Howard to come. All right, we're getting the boys
Sure.
back together, and it's basically falling apart.
Yeah, it didn't go well at all. And then yeah, apparently that Juwan Howard story, the strength coach that he hit or whatever was reassigned. That's part of the story. It's just like one thing after another. It sounds like, yeah, I assume he's going to be out soon. And it sounds like if it's just a mountain of crap, I mean, you could keep looking for more. I don't think you need to at this point. It sounds like it's a done deal.
Well, like I said, if this is, I don't know if he has some pictures on the board of trustees. I mean, people have been calling for him for a little while. They were like
Yeah.
fire Har, back when they wanted to fire Harbaugh, it was like
Mhm.
fire Harbaugh and Ward Manuel.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm going to run through some recruiting and anything you wanted to hit on
Just
specifically.
that, just some tidbits from like the new D line coach.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
from when he came up to Michigan State, because I had some conversations with some of my Sparty's buddy when he was coming to Michigan State and how pumped they were, and just some of his history and what that guy's got going on. That's a fucking huge hire. That is Larry Johnson's replacement.
Hmm. Okay. See,
That's
I didn't
huge.
think it was that big because we have a guy on staff already that's a GA, Alan Clark, that has more experience than that dude, that Jordan guy.
What do you mean by experience? I don't know if you've read this guy's trained over like 200 NFL guys: Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, Von Miller,
Mhm.
Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, his list of dudes. He was getting 4 stars to commit to Sparty on that dumpster fire of a program.
Right.
And my buddies were like, Sean, he goes, we got this serious dude. I was like, first of all, how the hell is he coming to Michigan State? And then he came, made an immediate impact, and then obviously bolted because that's tire fire. But
Yeah. All right. Well, from what I saw, his resume is relatively short. He's not that old, right?
yeah, I think he's a young guy. But I mean, he's already worked with 200 NFL players. I mean, that
Mhm.
cachet alone is going to
Right.
bring in the players that you need, the big time athletes. Oh yeah, I worked with Watt and Miller and Hayward, and
Mhm.
no, I think he's big time.
Hmm.
And I believe
Okay.
before coming to
Well,
Michigan State, I think he was down in Texas. That might be where he does his training. I feel like could be wrong, but
hmm, yeah. Um, yeah, I'm just looking at his resume. Yeah, we can circle back to that. Um, but I would say him and Alan Clark seem very similar in their resumes. They both have their own businesses where they are like trainers for D linemen. They worked with a ton of NFL dudes. Alan Clark's like trained 100 NFL guys. I mean, so I don't know if this is necessarily Larry Johnson's replacement because him and Alan Clark just seem almost identical in their resumes. You know, started off at small schools, worked their way up, went to the NFL for a short term. Now are
I
coming
think
back
I
to
think he
college.
is because I don't think we would have brought him in if he wasn't. Because, like you said, we got the other guy, or maybe this is. Yeah, I feel like it is.
Okay.
I'm jacked about it. It's nuts.
I'll have to do a deep dive on him and maybe I'll do a daily blitz episode this week. Um, so yeah. Getting back to today's topic, um, we'll talk some recruiting. If you want to hop in on any of these guys that you're aware of from the 25 class, it's really just the focus. And we do have a new quarterback that we offered for 2026. Just
I'll
three
try and
QB
brush up, but
offers.
I don't know a ton about him.
Just recapping, Matty Augustine committed to Notre Dame on Tuesday. Um, he's an offensive lineman committed to the Irish over Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, and Wisconsin. Then you got your four-star prospect, Riley Pettyjohn. He's a linebacker. He just released the top six this week of Ohio State, Texas, Texas A&M, Georgia, Florida State, and USC. Um, then four-star New Jersey, let's see, defensive lineman, Maxwell Roy. Yeah, D lineman. That's right. Uh, Out of Philly, 6'3", 270. He goes to St. Joe's Prep, same school as Kyle McCord and what's that other guy, Sean? His dad played in the NFL, wide receiver.
Marvelous Marvin.
Thank you. I'm waiting for somebody to go to bust me on that. Come on, Joe, you're
Haven't
better than that. You don't
haven't
know
we had a
Marv?
couple other? Haven't we had a few other kids out of there
I think so. Yeah,
over the last decade?
yeah. So anyway, he visited Columbus last October, and he's going to schedule a spring visit at some point, and he aims to make a decision by some summer. That's Maxwell Roy, the D lineman. Next up, four-star New Jersey defensive end Darren Ikenigban. He's high on the Buckeyes, included them in his top schools. Other schools are Georgia, Notre Dame, Tennessee, Duke, Oklahoma, Rutgers, Penn State. Um, he visited, Larry Johnson visited him at his school back in January. He's also looking at a summer commitment date. Could make a spring visit to the Buckeyes, but nothing's set up yet. And last on these releases of top schools, four-star Georgia defensive lineman released the top four of Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, and Kentucky. He was committed to Bama prior to the Saban news, Saban retirement. I'm tired today. I can't fucking talk. One of the top Ohio State targets in this class. He visited Ohio State twice before he committed to Bama, and now the Buckeyes want to get him back in for a spring or summer visit, of course. Georgia's seen as the front runner right now. Now we got some visits coming up. This is the number one of the top visits in my opinion. Four-star running back from California, Jordan Davison, out of Mater Dei High School. He could be the one to finally break the Mater Dei curse. Nikki Sualua was the last Buckeye, the only Buckeye, I think, from Mater Dei. So he's rated as the oh, Jeff's popping in. Look at this. We got a full house tonight.
Nice.
let Jeff get connected here.
Hello.
Hey, you don't have to yell.
What's up, Jeff? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, y'all. What's
What's
happening?
happening? I was about to ask you the same thing. This is a rare occasion.
Oh, I know. Yeah, just tricking around with Kyva here in Longwood, Florida, watching the golf course, watching everybody enjoy a nice day in the golf course
Yeah.
while I'm slaving it.
Oh. Oh, we're talking some recruiting. Sean wanted to talk about, we talked a little bit about Ward Manuel. We don't have a lot of concrete details of all the rumors. Most of it has only been discussed on Buckeye Scoop, so I don't have any Nevada Nuggets because I watch that show or listen to it. So apparently they have moles deep inside, not just Ohio State's athletic department, but the cheaters as well. So what's on your mind today, Jeff? Anything you wanted to touch on?
No, I was
I
interested
don't
to
know if
kind of
that's
hear
you or
more
me, Joe,
about.
but I'm real choppy on this end. You there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I got you good, Sean. You guys got me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear, all the shit that Ward Manuel has been covering up. We've kind of heard some rumors over the years.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, is Harbaugh the good guy in this case? Because those two were kind of, butting heads a lot. So it's hard to believe that Harbaugh was the do-gooder and didn't agree with how Ward Manuel was running his athletic department. But always interested to hear Michigan embroiled in controversy.
Yeah. Yeah, if anybody in the chat has any details on all the cover-ups, I listened to Zach Smith's podcast earlier today. He was basically he was covering the stuff that they mentioned on Buckeye Scoop, but you're getting in like third-hand information, and it's like, okay, I don't even know what's being said here, what's true, what's not, what was said on that show, what is Zach's opinion, so it's kind of all clustered. But yeah, I don't have any concrete information to go on yet. Zach said there's a lot of cover-ups in multiple sports, not just he was aware of the sign stealing, Ward Manuel was, and the Juwan Howard thing where he punched the strength coach or whatever, and the
Yeah, that
strength coach
that dude, that's a mess.
was
That is a mess.
reassigned or
I
whatever.
mean, that dude's
Then there's
unhinged. I mean, he needs to go.
Yeah, he's going to be gone too. Uh, uh, so there was some. I thought he talked about like some type of sexual misconduct of some sort. I don't remember exactly, but it was multiple sports, and a lot of it was being covered up. It sounded like to
I
me. So,
just let me throw in this little tidbit. I
go
would
ahead.
hope
Yeah.
That Zach Smith, with what he went through and the accusations that he flat out denies mostly, that he would not be out there throwing, really loose rumors around unless there was some serious stuff to back it up. Because
Yeah.
that just, I mean, he better not be throwing shit out there like this that's half-assed, because that's what happened to him. And, I would think he wouldn't do that, which to me almost gives us some credibility. It's like, Zach, you know what this can do to someone. You don't throw out these half-assed charges on people, but
Yeah,
if
Yeah.
that's a fair point.
When listening to, when Zach's talking on his pod, he speaks. Yeah, he may not come out and say, "I know for a fact this and this," but he talks as if he is in the know. Like you were saying, Joe, about third person information. He seems to convey that he knows for sure on a lot of things when he talks about like inside, the
Right.
programs and stuff. So,
Right.
but you're right. But Sean, to your point, yeah, it would really be a black eye on him if he was out spreading more, spreading the rumors with
which I give
if
him
they're
the
not
benefit
actual
of the
factual.
doubt. I would think that he's got a sensitive spot for that, and he wouldn't be out there. So I mean, I would tend to believe that at least I don't know, do your due diligence and don't just throw that shit out there, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing maybe there is some proof or evidence of it.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, the whole thing's a mess anyway. And again, if there's no sexual whatever, that this whole state, that whole fan base hates Emmanuel Ward. I mean, they have for years. They've wanted this guy gone. I mean, you read the boards, they're like, what does Ward have on the university? You know, it's like, how's this guy still around?
He knows where all the bodies are buried.
Yeah, it could be. But
Uh,
yeah, I'm not gonna come on this show and like repeat another podcast
no,
show.
you're
I
right.
mean,
Yeah,
if you
no, you're
want to
right, Joe.
find
You're
it, go
yeah.
find it. Like
Yeah, I'm
Buckeye
not putting
Scoop
my
or
name. I'm
whatever.
not putting on my name on any. I mean, I'll speculate on wild shit, but
Oh yeah,
I'm not putting my name on somebody's. Especially when you get into sexual stuff, man. That's just like I ain't touching that till I know.
yeah, right. And they you know have that issue in the football program. Look at how many investigations they had going on just there within the football world, the walls.
But how
Not
do
to
you not,
mention.
Joe? How do you not in a
What's that?
football program? Like you've got 100 something kids that got testosterone levels that are out of this world. How are whether whether it happened or just accused or perceived or whatever, girls at parties throwing themselves at these guys. These are high profile guys.
Yeah,
There's got to
trophy
be
chasers.
there's got to be multiple things like that every year for every team.
Yeah,
I was going to bring up that point, Sean. You're right. I mean, what that Michigan's knows, nobody's Michigan's no stranger uh to these problems. They, every team or program faces them at some point in time. High profile players to, guys that are, freshman, sophomore, fifth string. It's
Yeah.
it's common. You're right. I mean, you see it at every school. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff covered up. But eventually, if it comes to light, like at Baylor, you know, people are excommunicated.
Well,
And
just take 150 college kids that don't play sports. There's going to be
yeah,
some shit in a group that big.
yeah.
yeah. So, anyways, yeah, Joe, we can get off Michigan. We can, we talk recruiting a
That's what
little more
she said.
positive.
Hey.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, and then you got
yeah,
the fucking message board. Almost said the bad word. The message board morons up there talking about Caleb Downs entering the portal after spring ball. I mean, come on.
where would that even
That's
start? Like, how do you even?
it's
That's
just
just trolling.
people
I think they're
throwing
just
shit against the wall.
yeah. There's no even rumors that they've heard that. That's just a
He
troll
can't
job, I think. Just
transfer anyway. He
well,
physically can't. He's not a graduate.
well,
You
you
know.
don't know. I mean, who knows what those rules are now? If you get the NCAA can't. They have no backbone, so I wouldn't go so far as say there's not a legal way he could, or couldn't. But why would he? Why?
Yeah.
He just got there, and like he came
Yeah.
there for a reason. Like that's just troll. That's
Are
just
they
Michigan
given any
fans
reasons
trolling.
on why they're speculating that, or just
I'm not reading
complete?
Michigan message boards. No, I'm not
Oh, dude, it's
doing that.
funny sometimes. The delusion is
Yeah, I see the
strong.
screenshots, that people tweet out, but I'm not going digging through there specifically for stuff. I mean, I don't have that kind of time or the energy, but so yeah, it's made up. I mean, there's a reason why it came down to Ohio State and Alabama in his recruitment. Saban retired. That was
Yeah,
the reason he went there. Boom, he goes to the second choice. So yeah, let's continue on some recruiting. See, this Jordan Davison, the running back out of Mater Dei, #1 rated running back in the country, going to visit Ohio State March 27th for 4 days. Guys in the chat, please keep dropping your comments in there. I promise I'll get to you as soon as we run through this recruiting stuff, because I do want, if you have any information on this Ward manual cover-up stuff that I don't have, please drop it in there. We'll read it, and we'll get Jeff and Sean's reactions. So Jordan Davison is coming for 4 days, a 4-day visit.
wow.
With his entire family on an unofficial at the end of March 27th for 4 days. bringing his grandparents, everything. This is like a big deal. This is 4 days after he plans to visit Alabama. We'll see if that visit still goes through. But Davison said, quote, "I was actually an Ohio State fan growing up, so I always knew about the big tradition of running backs at Ohio State. I know a lot about OSU running backs coach Tony Alford. He's been here for 9 years, and with all the backs he's developed, it shows." Now, we do have a little bit of a Trojan horse, I guess you could call it. 2026 Buckeye commit Chris Henry Jr. just recently committed to Mater Dei. He was down at Cincinnati Withrow when Pac-Man was his guardian. Then Chris Henry Jr.'s mom wanted to move out to California. If that's how it went, I don't know. But anyways, he's moving in with his mom permanently in Cali. I don't know, near Mater Dei High School, and he's enrolling there. Obviously, they would take a Chris Henry Jr.
I remember seeing that he was kind of transferring to out there. It just so happens that they're moving to California into Mater Dei's area. Take that for what it's worth. Good for him though. I mean, more exposure.
I would say the main reason he's going to California is their NIL laws are looser there for high school kids.
Sure. And going to a powerhouse, a national powerhouse like Mater Dei, I'm sure there was other schools contacting him around there, Bosco and all them. So
across the country.
It makes me a little nervous though. You move out there to sunny California and you start liking it there, and like USC starts throwing bags of cash at you.
Exactly. I was just gonna say it does bring up a little more concern, but
as long as Brian Hartline and Ryan Day are still at Ohio State in 2026, I'm not worried. But that's a big if. That's 2 years away.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah. So maybe we finally cracked the Mater Dei wall. I think I was just saying before you came on, Jeff, that Nikki Sualua was I think the only Mater Dei recruit we've ever gotten. And that was a long time ago.
I remember Sualua. I remember him fullback. I didn't know he was from Mater Dei. But we've gotten some guys from Bosco, but
right.
But yeah, Mater Dei's been one of those schools that we can't pull from for some reason.
Yeah, USC Michigan has that on lockdown.
USC, Michigan as well. Will Johnson, I believe, came from Mater Dei. But yeah.
All right.
It's a 4-day visit though. That's not normal, correct? That's not.
No. And bringing the entire family is a big deal. So I feel really good about Jordan Davison being a Buckeye, and it gets that national recruit for Tony Alford that he's been looking for. There's guys in Ohio, Marquise Davis up in Cleveland, Bo Jackson up in Cleveland. Then he's still dipping his toe. Tony is down in South Florida with Byron Lewis at American Heritage. So don't break my heart again, Tony, please. I think he recruits these kids just so he can travel to Florida in the spring.
We're still going to try South Florida running backs, huh?
Looks like it. I think it's just so Tony can
South Florida running backs.
Visits to
how many
South
times?
Beach. Yeah. All right, next up, 4-star wide receiver Khaleke Lockett. He plans to visit Ohio State, Florida State, LSU, Penn State in the spring. Has a March 23rd visit to the Buckeyes. He said, quote, "Man, it's the Ohio State. Do I really need to say too much? Ohio State is known for putting guys in the NFL at multiple positions and known for being successful outside of football. It's just a blessing to be offered by Ohio State. You have to understand, man, I am pumped." Coach Hartline basically told me that I have what it takes to be a receiver at Ohio State. He loves my film and loves my personality, and I love his personality as well. He's a great, great guy. So Khaleke Lockett, look for him. I was going to get into all these guys' ratings and stuff. We don't have time for that. I want to get back to the chat. Landon Rink, he's a 4-star Texas D tackle, has plans to visit the Buckeyes March 18th. That'll be his first visit to Columbus. Then you got 4-star D lineman Jarquez Carter. He's got an Ohio State visit scheduled for March 28th. That'll be his second visit. He was in Columbus for the Minnesota game last November. And then Coach Johnson stopped by his high school back in January during the active period. He says his interest in Ohio State is very high. You would be Panama Red. Carter says he's still considering Florida schools, Penn State, Notre Dame, Tennessee, USC, along with the Buckeyes, looking for a summer commitment. A lot of these kids are going to tell you they're looking to make a decision sometime this summer. But Carter had 67 tackles, 37 TFLs, 9 sacks, and 15 QB hurries last season as a junior. The year before that, 78 tackles, 23 TFLs, 10 sacks, 8 QB hits, a couple passes knocked down, and a forced fumble. So guy's been productive early in his high school career. Then we got a 4-star Texas wide receiver, Dalen McCutcheon. I like this guy. He's got his favorites right now. Ohio State, USC, and Florida State are the front runners. He looks to make an official visit later this summer at each one. No scheduled visits yet. He is former high school teammate of current Buckeye freshman linebacker Peyton Pierce. So he's from Lucas Lovejoy down in Texas. Hartline visited him last month. And let's see, McCutcheon racked up 1,400 receiving yards, 94 catches, 20 touchdowns, and 2 kickoff return touchdowns. What is that? Can you guys explain what a kickoff return touchdown is to me? I haven't seen one of those in decades.
Yeah, they're
They're rumored to exist.
Yeah.
Has
anybody ever seen that? Yeah.
I guess in high school,
right.
The kickers don't have the legs to kick it.
Yeah. And you're putting your best players
school,
on special teams?
They don't have kickers that put it bigger, I think, but
all right.
Novel concept, yeah.
He'd be looked at as a slot receiver for the Buckeyes, according to Brian Hartline. So he plans on making a decision this summer as well after he takes his visits. I imagine a lot of these officials will happen in June, as they typically do. All these March visits are unofficials, by the way. Tight ends, we got 2 tight ends we're looking to snag in this class. 4-star Indiana tight end Brock Schott will visit March 28th. That's getting geared up for a big weekend, that last one in March. He's also taking visits to Miami, Texas A&M. He had 35 catches, 743 yards, 6 touchdowns last year. Then you got the Buckeyes' top priority at tight end, Nate Roberts from Oklahoma. He plans to be in for the spring game, April 13th. He's 6'4", 235. This guy's interested in all the O-name schools, Oklahoma, Oregon, and Ohio State. Got a big thing with those. Anyway, he has visited Ohio State multiple times, and most recently, January 20th. Then you got 4-star Maryland defensive tackle Trent Wilson, 6'3", 270. By the way, folks, I should mention all these videos of all these targets are available on the Video Vault. Get up there, check them out on the BuckeyeCast.com. There's a free preview, and you can sign up for a free trial. 3 days, all you can view. Anyways, Trent Wilson took 2 spring visits to Columbus last year. He is returning on March 30th. He also has visits to Oklahoma, Penn State, and Texas A&M. He's looking at a summer commitment as well. Looks like Penn State could be the biggest competition there as he's coming out of the DMV area. Next up, 5-star tackle Micah DeBose. Now, this guy is interesting because he's from Alabama, but lived in Ohio for the first 8 years of his life. So from 0 to 8, he was in Ohio, has been to Columbus several times. LSU suddenly has gained some momentum here. But right now, his visits are Ohio State, LSU, Auburn, Alabama, and FSU. So he's one of the top tackle targets in this class for the Buckeyes, and it's one of the guys that Justin Fry needs to land. I mean, you got Carter Lowe. He's considered a national prospect, even though he's from Toledo, but you got to land another one here out of state. And then to finish up here, 2026 quarterbacks, 4-star Florida quarterback from over here in Tampa, Will Griffin, will visit Ohio State, Clemson, LSU, Texas, and USC this spring. He was offered by the Buckeyes last June at one of their camps. He returned to the Buckeyes in November for the Michigan State game. So that makes he's one of 3 QBs in the 26 class we've offered. Jared Curtis is the other, and this week we just offered Brady Schmiegel. Shalom. Anyway, so that's your recruiting update. I know I went heavy on the recruiting this week with the daily blitzes and then today's show, but let's get into the chat, see what's going on. I want to get Jeff and Sean's responses to some of these, because I think we have some info on this Ward manual stuff.
Oh, give me the juice.
Yeah, juicy. Squeeze it. Billy says, howdy, Joe. Howdy, Billy. Nothing for Jeff and Sean, huh? That's nice. Pookie and Ray Ray show. What's up? He said, let's go. I was here early, actually, for once. Billy says, I haven't heard anybody on the Buckeye Beat speculate that Brandon Jordan is LJ's replacement, but after 2 years under Larry, and if he recruits well, I can see it happening. Okay, fair point.
I'm telling you, everybody, Buckeye Nation, this guy, when he got hired into Michigan State, most of my friends around here are Sparty fans, and the juice that they were drinking when he came in was huge. And you know, the resume, all the pros, big time pros that this guy's worked with in his own business. And then immediately, when he went to Sparty, there were like, I went and looked when it happened, there were like 4 top end D linemen that were, you know, down to, you know, it'd be like Alabama, Clemson, and Michigan State. It's like, what? I mean, one of these is not like the other. And he ended up getting 1 or 2 good guys. I think this guy has the connections. Maybe that's why we're bringing him in. And I think bringing him in is going to be huge in landing a bunch of these D-line prospects that we're going after. I think we're going to get some payoff and see it soon with this guy.
Okay. Well, we do still have LJ on a 2-year contract through 2025. So
that works perfect.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think you could make it a competition between Alan Clark, the other GA, and Brandon Jordan here. And see who wants the job more. See who hangs around for 2 more years. Anyways, back to the chat here. Odysseus says, clowns up north must be desperate starting Downs rumors. Yeah, exactly. They're a little downsy, all right. Billy says Down syndrome is one of their many. Thank you, Billy. Odysseus says tackle is the biggest priority in this class. Yeah, we got a lot of priorities, but yeah, I would lean towards the edge rushers as well. Billy says it's a prove-it year on the field and in recruiting for Justin Fry.
We've all said that. Yes.
Yeah. Odysseus says, hope it's true, Ward. Okaying Stallion's activity is a death penalty offense. Okay. I would agree, but I don't know if they're going to get that. You can never put any faith in the NCAA to do the right thing.
Yeah. If the AD's involved, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lack of institutional control. I mean, that's your
it's hyperbole at this point, but
yeah.
But Odysseus qualified that. Hope it's true. Agree.
Right. Doug says, you're right, Billy. Fry needs to prove his worth. Odysseus says they were both a-holes butting heads. I think he's talking about Harbaugh and Ward manual.
Right.
Odysseus says Hairball desperately needed to win and convinced Ward to okay the cheating. Yeah. Who ordered the code red, though?
Right.
Odysseus says they covered up rape allegations for scum kicker Gibbons and Taylor Lewan threatened the girl. Well, I didn't hear about that, but
Oh, I remember
that's
that.
worse.
I remember that. It got real brushed under the rug way back. That was
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that story coming out though, and it died died on the vine real quick. But yeah, I remember those rumors. That's a
Again,
while back though.
always with the grain of salt on those rumors. Like I said, 150 kids, and I mean, and a bunch of
Well,
college co-eds, and you know what? He did this, and it's like, what?
well, sometimes it's true though, and not
Sometimes it
everyone
is. I'm not
is
saying
a
don't take
is
it.
a
I'm the authorities ought to look into it. Any of those things like that.
right.
100%.
Yeah, the AD should not be interjecting in any investigations. Yeah,
We had our own case a couple years back. Remember, Jay Sean
we've
Wynn
had
and
multiple. Yeah.
Amir Reap.
Yep.
Uh, one of them was found innocent, right?
They're both
After the
innocent.
trial,
Yeah.
they both found innocent. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Amir
but
Reap is actually he is gonna be allowed to work out at Ohio State's pro day coming up in
Saw
April.
that.
good. I
The
mean, but
reality is we've had it, and we're going to have it again. It's how the
Yeah.
athletic
yeah,
department and the team deals with it.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Lawrence
Urban
Gibson,
immediately got rid of him immediately before the
that
charges
was
came
Ryan
down.
Day. That was Ryan Day.
I thought that was still Urban's last year.
Herb was iron fist there when he came in because he had all the bad press about how rampant Florida was with all their dalliances. And I thought when Meyer came in, yeah, I mean, if you looked, you did anything, even an
Well,
accusation, he was boom, gone.
remember
You're not
Carlos
our kind of
Hyde?
guy.
He
Yeah.
just like waved, didn't even make contact with that girl in the club. There's video of it, and he was suspended like the first 3 games of the year.
Yep, yep.
So yeah, you're right. But what was I going to say? Backing up. Oh, it's
But
Torrance
that's funny
Gibson.
that you say
Remember
that though.
Torrance
Let me just
Gibson?
comment on that
Yeah.
because when something like that happened and Urban Meyer would, throw Carlos Hyde, give him the suspension, you'd have
Yeah.
all these clowns up here in Michigan saying, "Look, you guys are scumbags, this and that." It's like, no, we actually dealt with the problem. That happens on your school and it happens everywhere, and you
Yeah.
guys fucking hide it.
Right. Yep. That's because Columbus is a much bigger city than most of these college towns. And those college towns, the college runs the town, and they can tell the sheriff to shut the fuck up or whatever. But anyway, Torrance Gibson did nothing illegal. Remember the freak wide receiver from South Florida? His recruitment, well, that might have been a little shady, but there's tons of stories out there about him. Anyway, is on campus less than 6 months. He has sex with a tutor.
Yeah. Yep.
And
consensual and everything, right?
Yeah, right. No rape charges, never. And she blew the whistle on it and was stalking him and all this stuff. And they had to kick him off the team. And never to be heard from again. I think he's playing in the CFL, maybe.
He ended up in Cincinnati for a while, and then when Fickle was there, but yeah, and he just never heard from him.
And that dude
we were
was
excited about him
freaky.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of Heritage.
It's just crazy the way those things happen. What's the famous guy out in? I think he was out in California. I don't know if it was Oregon or whatever that was accused of that. Lost his scally, kicked out. I mean, this guy was going to be an NFL guy, and I think tried to make a comeback later. But then, like years later, and I think the guy even maybe went to jail. Is completely exonerated, and like, yeah, it was bullshit. And
that happens way
I know
too
that
often.
story. Yeah,
that
was
the
a
NFL,
long time ago.
What about that punter that just what was it, a year ago was charged with rape? He wasn't even at the freaking house where this girl was supposedly raped, and no NFL team would touch him. Didn't draft him. Nothing. I don't even know if he was on a team. I think he was just coming out of college, entering the draft, and he's blackballed. I think the Chiefs just signed him. But he missed like 3 years. I think it was a total of 3 years of football.
yeah, it's life changing.
Yeah.
I feel like the penalties should be severe for doing those types of things. If you did them, the penalties should also be really severe for the girl that lies about it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's not a thing. You can accuse anybody of anything.
Yeah,
I know. And
it's
then you cost the guy $20 million.
Yeah, at least, yeah. But imagine the regular guys like us that happens to, who aren't even good, don't have the opportunity to be millionaires, just trying to be thousandaires, and get thrown in jail. But anyways, back to the chat. Billy says Davison and Davis would be a nice running back haul. Yes, Jordan Davison and Marquise Davis from Cleveland. I agree. Odysseus says Nicky Sualua was a lead blocker for Eddie George. There you go.
yep. Mm-hmm.
Odysseus says, ask Parker Fleming what a kick return TD is, Joe. Do you have his number? Anybody got his number? Email address? Anyway, Billy says the Yeti and a Buckeye kickoff return for a TD. You mean like one of those Yeti coolers?
No, like the Yeti, like Bigfoot.
Sasquatch.
There's rumors of him, but nobody quite knows if he really exists.
Billy says DeBose is a beast. He's talking about the offensive lineman from Bama. That would be a huge get any way you look at it. I agree. Billy says, I think Larry Johnson has signed his last contract for OSU, at least as a D-line coach. I would agree with that. You guys have thoughts on that?
Sure. I mean, I agree. I mean, I think that's why it was a 2-year deal. I mean, I think it's all, I think it's, his doing, not him and Ryan Day. I think sounds like everybody's on the same page there. Let's bring another guy in. Larry, give us 2 more years. I think Larry's expecting. It's not like he was fighting for a longer term contract, I don't think, and Dave was only going to give him 2. It seems like, if Larry said he wanted a 3-year, they, would have worked out a 3-year deal. But it makes sense. I mean, I think I would totally anticipate him not being on the coaching staff after these 2 years, especially bringing this guy in, Jordan, and with the other GA. It's like they're setting it all up for the gradual transfer of position control.
100%.
Yeah.
The legend goes out gracefully and sets it up with some studs that are going to replace him. And I'd love to see him go into an analyst or whatever fake job they can make for him, where he can work 10 hours a week and be around the team and whatnot. But I mean, when he's in his 70s, I mean, damn it, relax, Larry, you earned it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's all part of the deal. I mean, and plus they're lining people up so they can't get the negative recruiting that the other team's been using. Well, Larry's not going to be there. They're probably telling recruits, you're going to work with these guys. Larry, after 2 years, Larry will be, he will be gone, moving into some other position maybe, or just retiring. But Jordan and the other guy, what's his name, Joe?
Alan Clark.
Alan Clark. They're going to be making the relationships, building the relationships with all the players. So.
I'm with you. I'll bet you they're being 100% upfront with recruits. And if there is any negative recruiting out there, when the guys go and talk to Ohio State, it's like, look, we're not hiding this from you. Yeah, the legend's here right now. He's got these 2 up and coming absolute studs that are going to be studs in this game for the next 30 years. And you can't go wrong.
And they both have great resumes themselves. So they, it's not like
they're very comparable, I would say, but I don't know about great. I would have rather had Daryl Tapp that we talked about a couple of weeks ago before the Super Bowl. But then they all got fired. Was he the 49ers assistant D-line coach? I'm pretty sure. Anyways, he had a like 12-year NFL career. He was under 40. These guys have played in low-level college ball, never in the NFL, really. So there are other guys out there I would rather have. I would have taken Jason Taylor in a heartbeat.
I don't know.
Those negotiations fell through. Well, the Buckeyes were going after. Those negotiations fell through for whatever reason, whether it was money or moving to Columbus from South Beach. I don't know. And
maybe not wanting to wait. Maybe they were holding out to get a higher position, maybe a D-line of an actual on the coaching staff position. And Ryan Day was holding true to Larry Johnson, saying, I need I want to bring you in under Larry for so he
Right.
can gracefully move out and move you in. And
Right.
maybe they just didn't want to wait for that transition. They just wanted to get a position right ahead, right away.
Mm.
It could be something that simple that they couldn't get past that point. Money might have been good and everything like that, but they're like, no,
Yeah.
I want to go be the boss. I'm going to go be the man, not learn
Right.
under a man.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thanks for hitting the like button. We appreciate it. What do we got in here? Oh, almost 100. More than 50 at least. We got
There we
10
go. There we
likes.
go.
Let's pump it up. So
I'm on
yeah,
there. I'm on there looking at the things, but I'm not signed in. I'm on my work computer, so I can't like.
wow.
It wants me to sign in, and I don't sign in on my
Yeah.
work computer.
Right.
But I can read the comments.
Perfect. Back to the chat here. So I think we're all in agreement that Larry has signed his last contract as D-line coach. He definitely will probably get an analyst role or something like that, assistant to the regional manager, whatever. Odysseus says, it shows the difference between our program and the cheaters who cover everything up. Yep, exactly. And many other programs. It's not just the cheaters, but they're the most recent cover uppers. Up yours. Odysseus says, Ann Arbor smells like a dead skunk. I can't. Sean, you have any info on that? I've never been.
More like, I don't know. You've been to the bus station or like around a bunch of hippies?
Oh, I'm
It's more
driven
like that.
past it. Yeah. Okay. Odysseus says Matt Ariza was the innocent punter we were talking about. Okay. Billy says he went to San Diego State. That's right. I forgot about that. And Billy says he was an awesome punter. Right. Well, he's finally getting his shot fucking 4 years later or whatever. Odysseus says James Laurinaitis about to be the next elite recruiter at Ohio State. You think he's going to out recruit Tim Walton? Tim Walton's been tearing it up pretty good lately.
I think the juice with all these D-line linebackers in the secondary is going to maintain, like you said, an elite level. I think all of them. It's been amazing the last 5, 7 years recruiting, whatever, 10 years. It's going to stay that or get better. I feel. I mean, who was recruiting our linebackers before?
Well, on the
I
road,
mean,
just Jim Knowles. That's it. Laurinaitis couldn't go on the road, but he recruited when kids came to campus. Same for any of the analysts like Todd Fitch, the quarterback, analyst. All the quarterbacks that have left Ohio State have all raved about him over the last 4 or 5 years. CJ talks about him all the time.
yeah, definitely a lot of CJ's interviews. CJ's he's having a moment right now too with his interviews. He's
enjoying himself with the podcast. I'm all for it. If you're going to tell, who was it, Cam Newton the other day that Auburn sucks, I'm all for that. We'll never get that
Fred Taylor.
opportunity.
Fred Taylor's like, oh man, he's like, Florida,
Yeah.
get out of here. But Fred Taylor won a national title though. I mean,
yeah.
But anyways, but yeah, CJ, he deserves it too though. But yeah, I've heard him talk about Todd Fitch quite a bit. I'm surprised he didn't. There's no talk about him, for that OC job. Maybe he wasn't interested in it, but
For who?
I didn't. Todd Fitch for the our offensive coordinator position.
Oh, yeah. I'm guessing he's not interested in that.
Yeah, maybe, he probably has a pretty good gig. He likes what he does,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Odysseus says our back seven will stay elite. I like that. You're going to see what kind of coach James Laurinaitis is right out of the gates this season. Can he get CJ Hicks to play that will linebacker, or is it going to be Sonny Styles moving down? And there's a lot going on there. And then is Gabe Powers ever going to get some snaps? Probably at the mic behind Cody. A lot of question marks there. We're going to see. immediately what kind of impact Laurinaitis has as a coach and a teacher. Billy says Brandon Jordan training all those NFL linemen has to be a great recruiting pitch. Yeah, probably. Decius says we had Al Washington, then Bill Davis before that at linebacker coach. Yeah, not great, Bob. That's my 2 cents. I'm not an Al Washington fan. Pam, what's up? Pam. Pam says, hey guys, I think Laurinaitis will definitely be great. He can actually go out and recruit now. Going to be hard to beat out Walt, though. He's the man. LOL. I'm with you, Pam. I'm a big OG Walt guy.
He's proven. He's proven it. You know.
Yeah.
He came in with a big reputation, and now he's proven it. It took him a year, but who could be upset or disappointed in that performance? He's bringing in studs, and he's developing our guys into studs. Like we hope Fry does. Bring in some 4 stars and make them elite.
All right. So as we wind down here in the next couple of minutes, what do you guys want to talk about Sunday night? Give the people a little preview of what's on your mind.
Oh, should we I'm not really depth chart, but should we go over maybe we've kind of talked about covered all the possible position battles. The offensive line really is the only question marks that I think we have. We know whatever every other position group has. I don't know, Joe. What you just want to talk about? We talk about more of the hallucinogens that cause help PTSD. We cover that ground a little bit more in depth if you want. Sean, how you feel about that?
He's our
I'm clear-minded. It's February, so I mean I can discuss it all. I've got some experience.
Yeah, we could do story time if you want, Joe.
Understatement of the year. Sean has experience. Yeah. So did Tony Montana.
I'm not sure, Joe.
All right. We can focus on the offense, kind of put together a 2 deep. I've been thinking about this idea. Tell me what you think. Did you guys check out my Who You Got episode on Thursday?
I did not, bro.
From the What's Going Down episode of That's My Mama. It's the Randall Watson. No, I did corners, Ohio State corners versus Ohio State receivers. Who you got in 2024?
Who do we think will perform better?
Yeah, who do you take? They're not going head to head. We're never going to see that. So receivers, you got Marv. Fleming's gone. Not that that's a major loss.
How are we rating this? What qualify it a little bit more for me?
Yeah,
I just ran through the tail of the tape, like production, what their recruiting rankings were when they came in, and what their production, stats have been since they've been on the team. It's proven versus potential, kind of like we talked about last week. Remember?
I would have to say probably just not looking at the total rating numbers right now, but I would think that our receivers have had better high school ratings coming out of school. But I think our corners have developed more and have had better performance, mostly because they're more experienced, more playing time than most of the guys we got coming in. But I think if you go just player ratings coming out of high school, I would say our receivers would have the upper hand there as a room. But
but go ahead.
I'm going hands down DBs.
Yeah, me too. That's what I want. Because of proven production, right?
Not just that. The other thing that's in there is I think that with Chip Kelly, we're going to have a more balanced offense. I think the new quarterback's going to run a little bit more. I think your throwing numbers might be limited a little bit. I think they're going to be really good. But the secondary is going to shut people down. If there's any type of pass rush, which I expect there to be a very nice pass rush, good luck scoring points on the Buckeyes next year.
Yeah, if we're given a guess, who do we think will be more productive and rate higher in the next season? DBs for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we should have the best secondary in the country. I
And also
don't
the
think
best
anybody has
receiving
that.
room in the country, probably, but
Possibly. But again, it's
'Cause
unproven.
right, it's unproven. You're right, Joe. I just think, just when you were talking about player ratings, I bet our receivers have a higher average, the recruiting rating. I bet
Oh,
our receivers have a higher rating than the DBs do. Several five
well,
stars versus several 4 stars.
yeah. Ennis, Tate, and Mylan Graham
And
and
Smith,
Jeremiah Smith, those 4 are all 5 stars.
Jaden Ballard
Uh,
was a high 4.
Yeah, he was like a
Yeah,
95, 96, something like that.
Hancock was a
But
5, wasn't he?
Hancock was up there. Aaron Scott was up there. Bryce West. I think Aaron Scott was number 1 or 2 corner in the country in his class. CSH, Jermaine Matthews, those guys were high 4 stars. IGB was a regular 4-star. Hancock and Burke. Burke, I'm pretty sure, was close to a 5, I want to say.
I want to say he was around a 96, right around
92. 92 out of
92.
Scottsdale. Yeah. But Hancock was he was up there. He was a 96.8.
But as far as production, like if you go by the PFF grades, I would say our DBs will have higher grades on average, better than receivers. Partly because of what you said, Sean. There's going to be a lot more running. The stats might not be as gaudy. We might not have 3 guys with 800 plus yards receiving. But I mean, all of our DBs should be, anybody on the field should rate well at all times. There shouldn't be any excuse for them not to.
Well, just the experience of that group. They've all played a lot of football now.
Yeah, they're all proven.
Yeah.
So I have
exactly.
total confidence in the first 4 corners. And we'll see how that shakes out with Sonny. If he's people like Sonny be playing some defensive back stuff, probably some linebackers, some in between. So, which would take maybe Hancock off the field, if you're going with Hicks and Sonny and Cody. So,
Yeah, I could see that in run formations, or just if you could leave Sonny in there at a Sam linebacker, if they're going big against you.
Yeah, and that'll vary per team, per each week, per what the team's running at us,
Yeah. I wouldn't want to put Sonny in coverage situations very much. I would rather have Hancock in there.
Just on a tight end.
Sure.
But still, either way, yeah, he hasn't done super well.
Jordan Hancock has proven he's got very excellent, elite, high-level cover skills. So he's obviously the
run
better
support. Jordan Hancock's a stud. He'll blitz the quarterback from the slot. He'll come up and run support, take on offensive linemen, and cut down the running back. So he's a tough, hard-nosed dude. He reminds me like 100% of a Sean Wade.
I was gonna say more like an Antoine Winfield. I thought more built like a Winfield. Now, not the playmaking, not the playmaking abilities that Winfield. I mean, Winfield is a elite all-timer at Ohio State. But like you said, Joe, the willingness to attack the run. If he, but he has a flair for making the big plays too. Hopefully that more of that will come. So I mean, I'm not putting on him. I'm not putting him in Winfield's shoes. Hold on, Buckeye Nation. Hold on, guys.
I was just talking slot corners. That's why I went to Sean Wade.
Yeah. But Wade was great in 2019. That was the ideal spot for him. But he also had Akuda and Arnett, 2 first-round draft pick corners outside. That slot corner can be protected. Well,
I know
Arnett got drafted.
I know
he got drafted in the first round.
Right.
He showed who he was real quick, but
let's finish up the chat here. I got 2 more, and then we'll get out. Pam says, wish they would have been able to improve our offensive line more. We can't get beat by Michigan again, especially with all this talent we have. Would be devastating. Yes, be devastating for the entire coaching staff, not just us as fans, and the team, the players as well. I agree, Pam. But don't forget that second spring window will open after, what is it, like end of April, I think, after
What's
spring
that?
game. The
The
transfer portal window. Yeah.
Oh.
So keep your eyes on those guys. And it seems like a new head coach is taking a different job every week. So maybe more schools will
And don't
have their
freak out,
Thursday
people.
window.
Guess what? We're gonna lose some talented kids when that happens, and it's not the end of the world.
Oh yeah, there's going to be Buckeyes jumping in there for sure. Then Odysseus says the 2019 offensive blueprint will work versus the Wink Martindale defense, aka Don Brown 2.0. I've heard that said a lot about the new defensive coordinator for Michigan, Wink. That he's Don Brown 2.0 because he likes to blitz a lot. I think it's it's not quite that simple, but yeah, we'll see what happens there. I'm fine with the 2019 offense if you want to bring that back to the Buckeyes.
Jesus, look at that! Think about those guys that like J.K., Olave, Garrett Wilson, Justin Fields, all making a name for themselves. Aside from J.K. with the injuries, but making a name for themselves in the pros. You know.
Exactly. All right, folks. Jeff is going to come up with all of our content for Sunday night, so we look forward to hearing from him.
I'll put some thought into it.
All right. No, I've got a couple of ideas, but yeah, we'll look at the team as a whole. Also, Odysseus did mention early over under win totals for the major schools. I did that show last week, Odysseus, but we can roll it out for the Sunday night team. I did the top 10, the way too early top 10 poll. And I also did the cheaters. They were not included in the top 10 in this poll, by the way. There were 13. So I did the top 10 plus the cheaters. But
I heard today. Oh, sorry, Joe. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to wrap it up.
What was that, Jeff?
I heard Michigan had. I heard today the odds on winning national title. Georgia's number one. I think we're second, but I think Michigan had like the fourth or fifth best odds to win the national title. Like, who the fuck is laying money on Michigan to win a title?
Can you bet against that?
I can't remember. I can't remember what they were given.
$1,000 to win one. I'll bet $1 million.
Yeah.
And Bama has top 5 highest odds. That was like mind blowing.
Let's see. Michigan is 7th at plus 1,600. Those are good. That's good value if you want to just light money on fire.
Okay. It was Typico is where the guy was reading it on 97.1 today. So maybe 1,600 might be plus 1,600 might be right. But I was surprised that they were that high.
Would you say that's the 5th best?
I thought it was the 5th. Maybe it was the 7th. Maybe it was the 7th. But I mean, Alabama's in front of them. I mean, obviously us, Georgia, Oregon, Texas. But I wouldn't.
Yeah. It goes Georgia, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon, Bama, Ole Miss, Cheaters, LSU, Florida State, Missouri. Notre Dame, Texas A&M, Missouri are both the same odds. Clemson, Penn State, you're getting down there into the direct.
I would be if
I
was
can't
if I was
wait
a Missouri
to see
fan.
all those teams in the playoff though. That's going to be nice.
Yeah. Missouri and A&M with the same odds. Get the fuck out of here.
I know. So, yeah, we'll talk some over-unders this Sunday night and looking at a few good ones right here. Cheaters, 9.5. Here you go.
Under.
That's heavy juiced, minus 125 on the under.
For sure.
All right, folks, we appreciate everybody joining us. We will get back to you Sunday night. And until then, Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Jeff and Sean, appreciate you.
Yeah,
Sure.
bro. Have a good one. We'll see you Sunday.
Talk to you later. Go Bucks.
Peace.
Guerreri.